Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli, and welcome to the Renault Sport Series Clio Cup Europe of 2021. We are here in the eastern part of Italy for rounds 9 and 10 of this phenomenal championship that has had us gripped so much so as the series has got underway. It's the 30th anniversary as well of this wonderful series, and it is hot on track, but it's also hot in the air. Now, an interesting story I was going to get on later has just been brought straight into our eyesight here. Now, that is Marc Guillot in the white car on the left-hand side of your shot in the number 2 machine. He is usually in the bright yellow car, which is just behind him on the grid, albeit to the left of him, in 3rd place, which is Nicolas Milon. Now, he is a multiple champion, is Nicolas, and Marc Guillot is no slouch either, let's face it. But the two of them swapped cars. Now, I wondered after the crazy racing that we had at Hockenheim whether that was down to one car being a lot more smashed up than the other, but it was actually apparently just to test the two cars and see what the pace is like. But here is your grid then. David Pouget and Marc Guillot on the front row, with Nicolas Milon and Kevin Jimenez, who leads the Challenger Cup, in 4th place. Then it's Gabriele Torelli, he's another race winner. Anthony Girardo, another race winner. Federico Schianti is in 7th place ahead of Diego Cassara in 8th. Then it's Fabrizio Ongaretto in 9th place ahead of Franck Horn, with Alessio Alcidi in 11th ahead of Giuseppe Chiro in 12th. Then it's Felipe Berto 13th, and Alessandro is alongside him, apologies. We then have Paolo Maria Silvestrini. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time practicing that name in 17th, but it's a very Italian-packed grid. We also have Urali Ospanov, the Kazakhstani driver, in the field as well today, which is great to see. But it's a very, as you can imagine, an Italian-packed grid here in the very hot conditions we have at Misano. You can see the heat haze in the air, and you can see everybody getting ready on the grid. Now, the team with the teal cars, which is PMA Motorsport, are here for this round with their very pretty machinery. The 1-minute board is in the air, and we'll get round 9 underway. My name is Chaz Draycott, and I'm going to be commentating you through all of the action in this series, as well as David Addison at set rounds as well. And it's been an absolute joy so far to be part of the Clio Cup Europe's 30th anniversary, and we hope that the rest of the year is just as enjoyable. But look at the fantastic sized grid that we have here. 28 competitors registered for this round. We do have 2 drivers that are sharing a car as well. I believe it's Gianluca Moriello and Alberto Bergamaschi in the 333 car. That's one of the yellow machines a little bit further down the order, yellow and black car. But on the front row then, David Pouget. He's won 1 race so far this season, but until Hockenheim, he was leading the championship, but he had a bit of contact with Anthony Girardo in the amazing second race that we had there, which unfortunately dropped him way down the order. And Nicolas Milon, who lines up 3rd here in the yellow car, now leads the championship, but only by 4 points. Now, some of the drivers you will see take part in every single race this season, but the way that the Clio Cup Europe works is there's 4 groups, A, B, C and D, and all of the drivers are split into these groups, almost like small leagues, if you will. Now, they take the best 20 results. There are 30 races this season, so if you see some drivers such as Nicolas Milon, Marc Guillot, the likes of Anthony Girardo as well, David Pouget, you know, some of these guys have taken part in every single race so far this season. However, it doesn't mean that they're at any advantage to the other drivers as well. It just means if they have a bad result, then they've got a bit more time to combat that and make sure that it doesn't affect their season. So it takes the top 20, because not everybody can either afford or logistically get to every single round, as is the world during a global pandemic. But these cars look the part out on track. They sound the part as well. They really have this wonderful raspy noise about them from the 200 horsepower engines that they have. Fantastic turbo whistle as well when you hear them trackside. This circuit as well, very difficult for these cars. 16 corners, some of them very quick, so a lot of commitment is required. It's very much a driver's circuit, is Misano. Obviously very well known for its bike racing here as well, but it's just as entertaining for cars. Over the course of today, I've watched the mini challenge and some of the prototype series. There's also the Italian GT challenge here as well. But you see the drivers now, despite the red hot conditions out there, still warming up the tyres, making sure they get some temperature into the brakes as well, just to get everything at the right operating temperature. I mean, look at that there by Marc Guillot. You can see him leaving black streaks on the circuit behind him. Same with Girardeau. He was doing that at Hockenheim. They just launch the car left and right, so much so they lift the rear wheels off the ground. You can see it there from the number 66 machine, which is Diego Casara, part of the Faro racing team. They were at Monza, where his teammate, Gabriele Torelli, the number 12 car, took a race win. He's also in the Gentleman Drivers' Cup as well. And the leader of the Gentleman Drivers' Cup is not with us this weekend. That is Laurent Giardas, but second place, Frank Horn, is with us here, number 88. He is second in the standings, as I say, for GPA Racing, teammate of your pole sitter David Pouget. Now, David needs this. He wants to get back in touch with Nicolas Milan. I say like that like he isn't. He's on 301 points, Nicolas Milan on 305. The next car back is Marc Guillot, who's actually on the front row as well, which is on 238 points. So it's between Milan and Pouget at the moment. There's Casara. And you can see Frank Horn there with the G on the car, which is the gentleman drivers category. And they all line up ready to get all of the action here in Italy underway. Our second visit to Italy this year, of course, being in Monza for one of the first race weekends of the year. But the grid is formed, and we'll get round 9 of the championship underway then. The flag gets waved at the back, the lights come on, and we're underway at Misano. A lot of wheel spin from the third row there. I think that was the number 12 of Torelli, really lighting it up. He moves over to defend from Girardeau, who almost barges him out of the way. Down into turn 1 to go then. Pouget turns in, stays ahead of Marc Guillot. Milan following on. Any contact between any of them through the chicane, it really is a bottleneck. Looks like everybody behaving themselves now as they go around turn 3, the long sweeping right-hander at turn 3. And it's important to line up the braking for turn 4. Girardeau there defending from, I believe that's Scianti down the inside. Scuderia Costa Ovest car, it is. Any fans of the British Touring Car Championship will think that looks like Tom Ingram's car. As they're a little bit further down, we see Lorenzo Nicoli in the number 10 car, the Progetto E20 motorsport car, having to defend. But look at that, Scianti flinging the car left to right. There goes Nicoli down the inside, hard on the brakes to get past the number, who was that there? I think that might have been Pasquale. It was Pasquale. He went down the inside over there. The Carl Racing number 17 car. Down the inside of Girardeau goes Scianti. 3 wide nearly in the middle there. That's Paolo Maria Silvestrini running a little bit wide out of the exit, and now they've got this huge long back straight down towards turn 11, which is a quick corner in itself. Girardeau all the way over to the right hand side of the circuit, back down the inside of Scianti. Scianti a little bit sideways on the outside. They've got another right kink and then a hard braking zone for turns 13 and 14. It's easy to get the back end unsettled there. Scianti looks back down the inside, but it's a nice tidy first lap from David Pouget. Guillot remains in second, Milan remains in third, but he's got Kevin Jimenez right behind him as well, looking menacing as ever. Then you've got Torelli in fifth, and then everybody else, the 32 cars in there as well. That's Fabrizio Ongaretto and on he's going to Ghetto. Very, very close there as well. Silvestrini right behind. I believe that was it was Sebasti Scalera just in front. But Pouget using all of the road there. Plenty of curb on the inside. Oh, we've got a car around it. Scianti. Scianti is around in the background. Just saw him on the right of the shot there. As we see Jimenez having a go at Milan. Now don't forget, Milan has swapped cars with the driver in front of him, which is Marc Guillot. They usually race in opposite cars to one another. Guillot in yellow, Milan in white. They've swapped round this weekend, but Scianti, as you can see on the left-hand side there, dropping down the order very quickly, and the dust has actually made its way onto the back straight even. But Pouget, oh, a little bit out of shape there on the way into turn 8. Pouget skipping the car around. There goes the number 19 car of Silvestrini back down the inside. Sorry, I keep getting him disguised. Oh, we've had a big shunt at the back there. That's Du and the 67 car of Cole Cipolla. We're going to get a safety car for that, surely. Yes, we do. the race is neutralised. That happened off camera. Not sure if we'll have a shot of that again, but Du's car there, the number 46, looking very, very damaged indeed. The right rear door had taken a big old hit. Luckily, he was okay. We saw him running away from the car. Here's a look back at the start then. So you see Gerardo with the orange flashes on the left-hand side. Torelli in the 12 moves over to the right, says, "Get over there, sunshine." And then Pouget just cuts across the nose of Marc Guillot and holds onto it. Look at Pasquale absolutely launch it off the line. It wasn't a particularly rapid start, I'm afraid. I think that was Ospinov a bit further down the order. Not getting the best of getaways there. You can see them all fanning out, just jostling for position, looking for the tiniest of gaps. So this will be Scionti going off. Oh, he's actually had contact there with, I think, the number 32 of Fabrizio Ongaretto. Now, we didn't see that originally, or I didn't notice Ongaretto going with him. It's a wonderful choreographed sort of tandem drift that they've got going on, but unfortunately not good for their race results. Now, this is what happened earlier. Oh, there's a car sideways there. Is that the 46 of Dewey? It is. Car's moving out of the way all over the place to try and avoid him. Oh, and the 67 just not able to avoid it there, I'm afraid. Cole Cipolla obviously looking at all of the cars dancing around all over the place. There was so much for him to look at and focus on that unfortunately the stationary car in front of him blurred into it all. It was a big, big moment as well for Dew. Like I said before, you can unsettle the back end on these things a lot. The front wheel's doing all of the work, of course. They're front wheel drive cars. All of the weight is over the front, really. The back wheels are just along for the ride. You'll see them skating through corners and bouncing those rear wheels around and locking them up a lot. Not even locking them up, really. They'll just sort of come off the ground with the way that the car leans. Lovely shot there, though, as they go through the chicane. I believe that's 5 and 6 that they're going through. There was Scionti at the back now. Fortunately, he's got a hell of a lot of work to do here. The number 36 car of Giuseppe Giro has moved up the order quite a bit. He'll be quite pleased with that. He's got Alcidi behind him, then Berto and Sebasti Scalera rounding out your top 10. Jimenez currently leads the Challenger Cup. Giro's second in that, Alcidi in third. And Sebasti Scalera, who I just mentioned there, is actually leading the Gentleman Drivers category. Frank Horn is in 12th place overall, second in that class. Then it's Cassara and Stefano right behind him, so he's got challengers there. You can see the 3 teal cars of PMA Motorsport. Wonderful looking cars. They really suit that colour to the Clios. There is the beautiful Megane RS safety car as well. And of course that iconic Renault yellow that we've all come to know and love. David Pouget still leading this field then after that first lap. He'll be very pleased with that. We saw some incredible racing at Hockenheim that honestly you could not describe as, oh, there's a bit of a moment there in the middle of the pack. I think, was that behind Stefano? Was that Nicoli? Having to slam on the brakes. I don't think it was, sorry, it's the number 40, Sebasti Scalera behind Berto. Apologies, I got Berto and his teammate mixed up there. They've both got the pink and yellow front ends on the cars. Safety car is in though. There's Nicolas Milan making his way around the final corner. The green flag's in the air and we're back underway. Streaming down the straight they come. All of these wonderful little Clios, they've just gone flying past my commentary box on the way into turn 1. I'm just on the right of your shot there at the braking zone, so I can hear them all slamming on as they go past me. But Nicolas Milan, interesting to see with this car change between him and his teammate Marc Guillot, that he's not really getting away from the cars behind. There's the number 66 machine of Cassara. Right behind him is Stefano. Bit of a lock up on the way into the right-hander there from Alessio Alcidi. You can see why I got the pink and yellow cars confused. One of them's got green on the back, the other one hasn't. from what I know anyway. Nicoli's right on his back bumper now. He's all over him. He's going to get a good slipstream down the straight. These things do get quite well affected by slipstream, considering the amount of aero effect that the cars already have on them. I think Alcidi's just got past Berto. Either that or he's defending from him. I'm pretty sure he was already ahead, wasn't he? Again, some great duos going on here. Now Gio is at the front of quite a large train. Is down the inside. There goes Berto. Nothing doing there. But Puget is off into the distance now. And then it's Gio and Milan, the two teammates, having to defend from a very feisty Kevin Jimenez. Jimenez has been great to watch all season. And there is your Monza race winner, Gabriele Torelli. But these three fighting hard as, oh, very close on the brakes. There goes Kevin Jimenez. Milan broke a little bit earlier than he was expecting. He had to really put his foot through the bulkhead. The three of them nose to tail round turn 14 into the left kink at 15. It's important to make sure that you carry the speed through there, because then you can get the car settled on the brakes, chuck it to the left through the final corner, and then power onto the straight again. Looks to me like Marc Guillot's boot is moving around, interestingly. They fan out as they go across the line. Milan just holding firm on the inside. Torelli's getting close to the back of Jimenez now. But Jimenez really looking feisty, as he always does. Rear wheels coming off the ground as they go through the first chicane. Chuck them to the right. Now Jimenez is in a position that nobody wants to be in here. You don't want to be attacking while having to think about defending as well. He's got Torelli behind him. Torelli actually pops out and sort of shows his nose. That seemed to affect Jimenez on the brakes there. He was skipping around. Milan knows exactly where to put the car. He can see in his rearview mirror that Jimenez is under pressure from Torelli now, who's joined in this party. And look how it's helped Marc Guillot, although Jimenez has got the run down the inside of Nicola Milan. Is he going to outdo him on the brakes? He'd be a betting man to say no, but he does. Fantastic commitment by Kevin Jimenez. Now, what can Milan do about a cutback? Of course he can get it, but Torelli's there on his left as well. They're three wide. They're going to kiss wing mirrors and exchange vinyl and paint and all sorts. Onto the brakes. Look at that from Torelli. Takes a later turning, but goes down the inside of Milan. Now Jimenez goes through. Can Torelli go with him? That's really good awareness from the number 12 driver. And behind all this, Anthony Girardo's watching, thinking, I want a piece of this, boys. This would be great. They're kissing wing mirrors again, getting very friendly down the straight. Milan and Torelli. Torelli's down the inside. Does he hold it, though? Milan very, very competent in these cars, as we all know. Hanging it around the outside. Phenomenal stuff. Locks up the brakes, though, as he does a bit of a hopper, skip and a jump through 12 into 13. Girardo wobbling around a bit, but Milan has now dropped down a couple of places already on this lap. And is it going to be any more than that? Marc Guillot's got a bit of fresh air now, but then he's got the very fast Kevin Jimenez chasing him down. Jimenez has been great, like I say. This season he has been so exciting to watch. Here's a little incident from further down the order. I believe that is Quinto Stefana. Yes, it is. Number 69 car. A little bit more shenanigans. Oh, getting very friendly there. That's the 13 car into the side of the 45. That's Ospinoz into Felicia. And involved in that as well. Is that the 32 of Ongaretto? So it's getting very, very friendly further down. Now Torelli has not slowed up here. He's going right after Kevin Jimenez. Chasing him down hard here through 5 and 6. Tries to get a great run down the straight. Here is a view of that again. So Ospinov's gone a little bit too hot, and then the 45 comes back. Now, the 45 machine there of Felicia, he had run wide, and he was just trying to get back onto line. I'm not sure whether the 13 knew exactly what line he was going to take, and there's a puncture there for Ospinov. Oh, and a bit of contact maybe with the 44 machine of Gelmini. Wow, that's a focusing moment there for Gelmini, just trying to go around a slower car, and it almost careers into you. There is the 66 now in the pits. That's Diego Casara. Dropping like flies here as they all go very, very wide in the background. That was Berto with everybody in tow. Look at this though now, Torelli having to defend from Milan. The two of them dancing around. It's incredible how Torelli at the moment is like the sort of opposite of a Newton's cradle, really. It's the bits in the middle that stay still, but at the moment he's the bit in the middle that keeps bouncing between Nicola Milan and Kevin Jimenez. And then you've got Girardo and Kiro waiting in the wings to try and take advantage. Milan looks so menacing though in that yellow car. He looks menacing in the white car that he normally drives, but in Marc Guillot's usual yellow, looks fantastic. Gerardo staying over to the left, Milan staying over to the right. You can see members on the pit wall giving them a signal that needs no translation. It's just get on with it. Get on with it indeed, because now Tirelli, after he's away from Milan, he's right up behind Kevin Jimenez again. This is for the final podium spot. Jimenez will still lead the Challengers Cup even if Tirelli goes past him. But he doesn't care about that right now. He's thinking about overall position as they go through the right-hander into 5. Chuck it to the left through turn 6. Make sure you manage the weight transfer there. Now apparently this bit, that long bit that we're watching them come around now, is turn 7. The long left-hander. Down into turn 8. Nicolas Milan making his intentions clear, but then coming back inside. He's just showing his nose to Gabriel Tirelli, trying to put him off. Gerardo runs a little bit wide, but he can just focus on his own lines from here. He's going to watch Nicolas Milan attack these guys. Plenty of lockups on the way in. Go up to turn 10. Now, power down hard, foot flat. Pouget's going to enjoy watching this one back because he's miles in front. Not much airtime for him for his sponsors, but no news is good news. Look how fast they're going through there. Into 12 and 13. It's really amazing to see. It's such a fast part of racing circuit. Although Jimenez is a little bit too fast for him there. Hard on the brakes, locks it up. And Tirelli's gone a little bit backwards there as well. He didn't get much of a run. Looks like Tirelli's had a bit of help at some point. The Renault number plate on the back of the car has come off. Now he's having to really defend hard here from Milan. Milan tries it round the outside. He manages to get alongside him. Nearly a bit of contact. And the incident, by the way, earlier from cars 32 and 6 was being looked at, but there's no further action. That was where Cianti and Ongaretto had contact going into turn 1 and both went off the circuit, but that is no longer being looked at. It's very hot out there. The track is 43 degrees at the moment, 44% humidity, and it's nearly 29 degrees Celsius in the air. Makes me very glad I'm in an air-conditioned commentary box, let me tell you that. Marc Guillot, he's in a comfy position, much like I am as well at the moment, in second place. He's got a lot of fresh air between himself and David Pouget, but Pouget, this is a masterclass from him at the moment. Leading by example, leading from the front. We've got Felisa and Ospinov both in the pits, unfortunately, further down the order. Just under 9 minutes to go in this race then, and another lap. Round 9 of the championship. Jimenez is really hard on those brakes, isn't he? Certainly making them work. But he just wants Tirelli and Milan to fight now. And so does David Pouget. For the championship, this is really helping David at the moment. Look at Milan there, just showing the inside headlight on that car. And again, Tirelli defending. He's going to compromise his own line here. This is Nicolas Milan really getting into Tirelli's head. Great to see them fighting so hard, though. This is what you've got to love about single-make racing. A lot of it is down to the drivers and the mind games. But it's fantastic to watch at the minute. Really fantastic. You can see Tirelli's hand there just flinging itself across the steering wheel as he chucked it into the final corner. Really launched his hand across it. It's great. Oh, Gerardo very out of shape there. There's the number 27 machine, Felipe Berto. That is Frank Horn looking down the inside of Nicoli. He's got his teammate right in front of him, which is Silvestrini. They're just outside of the top 10 at the moment. Then ahead of them is Alcidi and Sebasti Scalera, who still leads the gentleman drivers category. David Pouget, last time round, had a 2.6 second lead. And Kevin Jimenez 1.4 seconds off the back of them, but Tirelli and Milan only 0.2 of a second apart. And Milan really piling the pressure on. He's not able to make the move yet, but I think he's just trying to see whether he can get a mistake out of Gabriele Torelli. He's got time to make the move still, so he doesn't need to worry too much at the moment. There are the gaps between each car. And there's a physical gap that you can see between Milan. Look at that. Moves over to the right, then moves back over to the left to make sure that he can keep the optimum racing line. But you saw the front right wheel came off the ground for Nicola Milan. Then he's chucking it in that hard. The right rear off the ground as well. Through turn 12 into turn 13. Still right rear off the ground. They really do pivot all of the weight over the front of these cars. It's great to watch. Tyres almost being ripped off the rims. They're throwing them into the corners that hard. Torelli again. You see his glove just move so aggressively across the windscreen, and the car moving aggressively across the curb as well. Milan will have seen that and think, that's a little bit naughty. But I imagine that Torelli would have felt that tenfold. It's not exactly a comfortable thing to hit. But look at that gap for David Pouget. Fantastic performance so far. You have to give a hand to Guillaume as well. He's holding station in second place. 238 points in the championship so far, Marc Guillaume. Third overall. Doing a brilliant job. He's doing a great job in this race as well. He's had a number of podiums this season. This is going to be another one for him. No race wins though yet this season for Marc Guillaume, and unfortunately like this is going to be one of them. Now look at that from Nicoli, by the way, in 11th place, 15 spots gained for the Italian, the Progretto E20 Motorsport driver. And there is Horn down the inside of Silvestrini. Silvestrini's got to come back on the track at some point. Side by side they go, up into turn 9 through the kink. Silvestrini down the inside. Is Horn going to try and get a cutback though? He uses all of the curb and some more down the inside. They're still side by side on the exit. Great racing all the way up and down the order. But amazing performance so far from Nicoli. Torelli and Milan still having this fight. Under 4.5 minutes and then another lap. This will be decided. They're both absolutely all over the road, but in the best of ways. Phenomenal racing from the pair of them. I imagine they're both thoroughly enjoying themselves, and if one of them isn't, it's probably Torelli just thinking, oh, go away, leave me alone in your bright yellow car. So I thought you had the white one. Jimenez looked a little bit slower than these two a moment ago. Torelli's actually right back with him now. 0.6 of a second the gap between them, and then 0.4 back to Milan. And that gap's coming down, as Jimenez got a problem here. He's been caught hand over fist by these guys. All of a sudden he's just absolutely crawled up to the back of him. Jimenez's last lap time was a 55.1. Torelli did a 54.9 and Milan 55.0, so there's only 0.2 between the fastest car out of those three. The slowest, Anthony Girardo just behind, he did a 1:54.9 as well. I believe that's his personal best too, so really quick stuff. Although Pouget's doing 54.4s, he's absolutely on it. Fastest lap of the race is a 54.3 by David Pouget. Lap 8. Straight again. Milan just looking, seeing what he can do. Just filling those mirrors. So important to do. This is lap 11. Still, Jimenez now the one that has to defend from the guys behind. And I believe that the slipstream's really going to help Torelli and Milan here. Now Milan has been staying over to the right hand side as they go down the straight. Look, he's doing it again now with the yellow car, just staying all the way over to what is our left, but their right. And then diving over to the left hand side on the way into turn 1. I'm wondering whether it's something to do with the brakes. Oh, sorry, not the brakes, the tyres. He's trying to keep the tyres cool. It's the sort of behaviour you'd see in a wet race. just staying off the racing line, although it is on a straight, so I can't imagine it'll make too much difference. We had Torelli on 2 wheels through turn 1 there. Look, Jimenez has just got nothing in this first sector, and now Torelli's right behind him. He's getting a good look at the sponsors on the back of the car. And he's saying, oh, I like that Renault number plate. Can I have yours? Mine's come off. Flying down the straight then, into turn 8. Hard on the brakes they go. Wondering whether Jimenez, I said he was being tough on the brakes earlier. I'm wondering whether he's actually overcooked them here. And he's not quite got the confidence on the brakes, but definitely that first sector, you can see a big difference between Torelli and Milan's pace compared to Kevin's. And there's an incident being investigated after the race at turn 1. Doesn't say what car, I'm afraid, so I'll get back to you on that one. Nicolas Milan looking down the inside again. I think Torelli now has just sort of thought, oh, he's doing this again. But look, now Jimenez is gone. He disappeared up the road again. There's such an incredible difference as Milan finally looks down the inside. Big lock-up. He chucked it down the inside. I say he finally looked down the inside, but it was the first solid attempt at a move, rather than just putting pressure on. There's a bit of debris on the circuit there, not quite sure what that's from, maybe a bit of tyre from the car that we lost earlier on. Through the final corner though. Now this is going to be the penultimate lap that they're going on to now. There's only 10 seconds left on the timer, which you can see in the top left of your screen. And then we're going to have the final lap of the race. But this has been an epic bit of defending by Gabriele Torelli. He's held off Nicolas Milan all throughout this race so far. He started 3rd on the grid in Milan. He's actually dropped down to 5th, which is not something you see often. But he's the most winning driver this season. He's won 4 races. David Pouget has won 2. He's about to make that 3 if things continue the way they're looking. Gerardo, just behind this battle, has won a race, and Gabriele Torelli has won another. No overall race wins for Kevin Jimenez this season, but he leads the Challengers Cup, which is for drivers, I believe, under the age of 26, or drivers that haven't completed a certain number of races in Clio Cup. Look at Gerardo there, really chucking the car over to the left quite early on. Puff of smoke from from Pouget actually. Puff of smoke from everybody really as they go into turn 10. Hard on the power now. Jimenez is away from this battle once again. It's like somebody's put a magnet on the back of Jimenez's car, but it only works every so often. So Milan hanging down the inside a little bit longer than normal there on Torelli, but he's not as close this time, so maybe just trying to keep the lap smooth and just gain that time back. Puff of smoke from Guillaume and the rest. But this has been great by Torelli so far. Really impressive stuff. You can see why he won a race in the championship. Top performance. He won round 4 at Monza, so the second race of the weekend. After David Pouget won the first one. Nicolas Milan then responded and won both races at Manicourt. He's looking down the inside now, is Nicolas, but nothing doing this time either. Final lap of the race then, in round 9 here at Misano. And it's Pouget from Guillaume, Jimenez, Torelli, Milan, Gerardo, Kiro, Berto, Sebasti Scalera and Alcidi. And then Nicoli after this fantastic drive, up 15 places to 11th. Just outside the top 10. Here's a bit of shenanigans further down. That's Frank Horn. Going around the final corner. Whoa! Going very wide there. Cianti thinks, nah, I'm not going to hit them yellow sausage curbs. You're all right. The two of them bouncing around all over the grass. Now, a lot of these cars have been converted and can be converted from the rallycross version of these Clios, or the rally car version of these Clios, I should say, turned into effectively the little touring cars you see today. So they were just going back to their heritage a little bit there. David Pouget now coming into the last couple of corners. It's been a phenomenal performance from him. You can see the stickers on the window emphasising his competitive edge, everything that he's won. Not everything, but most of the things that he's won within Clio Cup. into turn 14 for the final time. Only 2 more corners to go for GPA Racing's David Pouget through the kink at 15. Gets the car nicely settled, uses a little bit of curb on the right, hard onto the brakes, throws it in, and David Pouget is going to win round 9 of the Clio Cup Europe at Misano, and you can see he is very happy with that. He really needed it after Hockenheim. Marc Guillot has another impressive result in 2nd place. Kevin Jimenez is 3rd, and at the line, Milan is ahead of Torelli. He did it on that final lap. He was waiting until the end. Torelli didn't have time to respond. They finished just ahead of Girardo, with Kiro, Berto, Sebasti Scalera and Alcidi crossing the line behind. Here's the battle a bit further back. The number 6 car of Scionti just not able to beat Frank Horn across the line. And another wonderful race completed in Clio Cup. We have the 3 PMA Motorsport cars finishing nose to tail. There is the 66 of Diego Casara. Eventually classified 22nd, albeit 1 lap down. From that race we lost Felisa, Ospinov, Du and Cipolla. But there's your race winner, David Pouget. Another phenomenal performance, like I say. Very solid all the way through that. Fastest lap of the race as well. 1:54.3 on lap 8 of the race. And he can be very, very pleased with himself. His 3rd race win of the season, and that will surely put him back in front of Nicolas Milan in the championship. Marc Guillot as well, car 2, P2. Still no win this season for Marc, I'm afraid. But he can be very pleased with the fact that he's just getting them points round after round. There is your result then, 4.2 seconds the lead gap at the end, back to Marc Guillot from David Pouget. Jimenez 3rd ahead of Milan and Torelli, with Girardo, Ciro, Berto, Sebasti Scalera and Alessio Alcidi rounding out your top 10. Behind them was Lorenzo Nicoli after that fantastic drive from 26th on the grid all the way up to 11th, ahead of Paolo Maria Silvestrini, and Frank Horn finishing in 13th in the 8 car, just ahead of Federico Scionti, who of course had that moment earlier on. And there you can see the final finishes there, and of course our 4 retirements from the race. Felisa, Ospinov, Du and Cipolla, although Ospinov actually classified ahead of Felisa there. But plenty of entertainment and plenty of exciting racing from Clio Cup Europe in its 30th anniversary. And don't forget that we are back again tomorrow for another race. It's not like we just have 1 round per circuit. Oh no. About the same time tomorrow as well, 4:30 local time, we will be having round 10 of the championship. We move into double digits in what's been an amazing season already, as the cars pull their way into Parc Fermé. David Pouget is going to be over the moon. And a great podium for Kevin Jimenez as well. He really worked for that one, and it is thoroughly, thoroughly deserved. I think they're giving the thumbs up to Jimenez, or at least I hope it was a thumbs up. You can see him sort of checking who was it that finished behind me, because he was so far ahead he probably couldn't see them, but there he is. Little sign of gratitude there, but I'm sure it is very, very hot in those cars. It's still hot in the commentary box here, and there's air conditioning. He's really pleased with Kevin Jimenez. Of course, the 2 of them really, really good teammates to one another. You know, they have some fantastic racing so far this season. 2 GPA racing cars on the podium, with Marc Guillot splitting them in the Milan competition machine. 2 of the real stalwart teams of the championship. You can see there, Pouget, he's very tired after that performance. He was so fast. Marc Guillot there, I imagine, saying, I don't know how you did that, mate. That was absolutely rapid. But yeah, he may not look like the happiest man. Oh, there you go. He may not look like the happiest man all of the time here in Clio Cup Europe, but he will be really chuffed with that one. A lot of hard work there went into getting that result, and then they're going to make their way up to the podium. And here's a quick look back then at how the race happened. Gabriele Torelli with that big move across there on Girardo. A nice tidy start by everybody Unfortunately, Ospinov not quite getting off the line the way he wanted, but Pouget made the first corner exactly how he needed to. There was contact between the 32 of Ongaresso and Scioli. Both of them managing to continue, and then further back, a big accident involving the 46 car and, of course, the 67 of Enrico Cipolla. The race got back underway with both drivers okay, and Pouget continued to lead. A little bit more shenanigans further back as Ospinov went into the side of the 46 car, the 45 car of Felice with more contact, but Pouget led from the front and drove off into the distance over the horizon as everybody else battled away. Milan making the move up to 4th on the final lap. But what a fantastic round 9 in the championship, showing us exactly what we've come to expect from Clio Cup. Great battles everywhere, little bit of contact and some argy-bargy, but that's what you get in tin top racing, and that's what we can all enjoy. So now the drivers will make their way up to the podium, and they will get their very pretty trophies, which I hope they have some spare of this year. It'd be a nice memento. Got some wonderful silverware, glassware, whatever you'd call it, in Clio Cup Europe. And Kevin Jimenez will make his way up to the 3rd step of the podium. 3rd place overall in that one is a really good result for him. And like I said, he's been leading the Challengers Cup all season, and he remains to be the top of that championship. And there he is. Thumbs up for the team. And there is Marc Guillot making his way across as well. 2nd place overall. Like I said, he was in a bit of no man's land really. But your race winner for round 9, David Pouget. Fantastic performance. Quick hug with his teammate there, Kevin Jimenez. Handshake with Marc Guillot. And of course, the national anthem. Or it would be. Fantastic stuff then from round 9 of Clio Cup Europe. A very dominant win for David Pouget. Let's see whether he can do that again tomorrow. The drivers hold up their trophies for photos. Very pleased. More silverware in each of their cabinets for the year. All of them having a really good championship so far, these 3 guys. And they've all been equally great to watch. And David Pouget takes the trophy there for the team, GPA Racing. Don't think their team manager was up on the podium with them, but there you go. Posing for photos now. Great stuff from that first round, and 3 very deserved podium finishes. And that great battle as well behind between Nicolas Milon and Gabriele Torelli. Awesome to watch. And next up, I believe we're going to get the Challengers Cup. And we'll have the podium from these guys. And we'll just wait for the drivers to make their way up now. I believe it was Filippo Alberto finishing 3rd there. I would confirm that, but the timing screen has changed over, I'm afraid, to the next race. So I've just lost that result from my site, I'm afraid. But we know that in the Challengers Cup, of course, it is Kevin Jimenez. Like I say, he's been leading this Challengers Cup all season so comprehensively. It's been awesome to see. and I'm sure he wants to continue that form all the way through the year. There's Audrey from Renault. She's helped me around the paddock and helped me just about with everything this year in getting sorted and being all over the place. She's an absolute star of the championship. And here we are for the gentleman drivers podium. That's Frank Horn there, just making his way over to second place. And we have different overalls for our winner there. Fantastic. Great bit of celebration on the podium there, at least. And that's Alessandro Sebasti Scalera that takes the win there in the Alpine overalls. Frank Horn on the left-hand side. I'm afraid I didn't get the name of the driver on the right. Like I say, the result has disappeared from my sight now, unfortunately. But that is all here from round 9 of the Clio Cup Europe in its 30th anniversary. Like I've said, we're back tomorrow at 4:30 local time. I've been Chaz Draycott, and this has been Clio Cup Europe. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic afternoon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, pa 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 pa.